Hello everyone, myself Heli Mehta working as an assistant professor in computer engineering department at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Our subject is computer network. Our unit is 4, that is network layer. Today our topic is routing. Okay, so routing is a process of selecting path between source and destination. Okay, so routing is performed by a special device known as a router. Okay, so between source and destination we have a multiple path. So we are selecting path to transfer the data. This process is known as a routing. So a routing is a process of selecting path along which the data can be transferred from source to destination. Routing is performed by a special device known as a router. A router works at a network layer in the OSI model and internet layer in the TCP/IP model. Okay, so router works at a network layer in our OSI model. A router is a networking device that forwards the packet based on the information available in the packet header and forwarding tables. Okay. So in packet header we have a source and destination address. Okay, so router is a networking device which forward the packets to destination, okay, based on the information available in the packet header. Okay, so in header they have a destination address, so they transfer data from source to destination. The routing algorithm are used for routing the packets. The routing algorithm is nothing but a software responsible for deciding the optimal path through which packet can be transferred. As I have explained here, we have a multiple path between source and destination. Okay, so routing algorithm are used to select the optimal, means best path to transfer the packets from source to destination. The routing protocols use the matrix to determine the best path. Okay, best path for the packet delivery. Okay, the matrix is the standard of measurement such as hop count, bandwidth, delay, current load on the path, etc. used by the routing algorithm to determine the optimal path to the destination. Okay, so to find out the optimal path between source to destination, the matrix is used. It is a standard measure, okay, in which we can calculate hop counts, bandwidth, delay, current load on the path. According to their measurement, we can select the best optimal path. So routing algorithm is used to determine the optimal, means best path to the destination. The routing algorithm initializes and maintains the routing table for the process of path determination. Okay, so routing algorithm use the routing table for storing the information. So consider the image below. Okay, for a data packet to get from computer A to computer B. So we are sending packet from computer A to computer B. Okay, should it pass through network 135? So we have a one path, that is 135, or 2 and 4. So we have another path, that is 2 and 4. Okay, so the packet will take a shorter path through network 2 and 4, but network 1, 3 and 5 might be faster at forwarding packets than 2 and 4. These are the kind of choices network routers constantly make. Okay, so see here, we have a computer A and computer B. We have to transfer the packets from computer A to computer B. Here we have a router. Okay, so we have a two path here, that is network 1 to 3 to 5, and we send our data to B, and another path is 2 and network 2 and network 4. Okay, so we have to select from which path data can be sent successfully. Okay, so we have to find the optimal path. Okay, it is not necessary here we have only two networks, that means it is faster or it is best. Okay, it may happen that the network 135, okay, is faster for forwarding the packets than network 2 and 4. Okay, it is possible. Okay, so router will decide. Okay, so we have to use routing process for selecting path along which the data can be transferred from source to destination. So we have a sender A, receiver B, and between sender and receiver we have a multiple path. Okay, and from that we have to find the optimal path to send the packet. Okay, routing matrix and cost. Routing matrix and cost are used for determining the best route to the destination. Okay, so we have multiple routes from which route we can send our packet faster and optimally. Okay, successfully. The factors used by the protocols to determine the shortest path, these factors are known as a matrix. Matrix are the network variables used to determine the best route to the destination. So here one thing is important, we have a multiple routes between source and destination, and we have to select optimal route. Okay, for some protocols use the static matrix, means that their value cannot be changed. Static means the value cannot be changed. And for some other routing protocols use the dynamic matrix, means that their value can be assigned by the system administrator. Okay, so for static matrix value cannot be changed, and for dynamic matrix the value is assigned by the system administrator. So first is hop count. Hop count is defined as a matrix that specifies the number of passes through internetworking device such as a router. A packet must travel in a route to move from source to destination. Okay. If the routing protocol considers the hop as a primary matrix value, then the path with the least hop count will be considered as the base path to move from source to destination. Okay, so if the host count, the path have a least minimum hop count, okay, then it is considered as a base path. Okay, so hop count is a matrix that specifies the number of passes through internetworking device such as a router. Okay, so this is known as a hop count, and the path having minimum hop count is considered as a base path. Second is a delay. Everyone know about the delay. It is the time taken by a router to process. Okay, so we are sending the data from router. Okay, so time is taken by the router to selecting the path. Okay, so delay is a time taken by the router to process, queue and transmit a datagram to an interface. The protocols use this matrix to determine the delay value for all the links along the path end to end. The path having the lowest delay value will be considered as a base path. Okay, so between sender and receiver we have a router, and router is a perform the process of routing. Because of that they will take some times. Okay, so the path having the lowest delay, okay, have a considered as a base path. Okay, so delay must be low. Okay, next is bandwidth. The capacity of the link is known as a bandwidth. So we have multiple links, so different capacity must be there. Okay, so the bandwidth is measured in the term of bits per seconds. Okay, the link that has a higher transfer rate like gigabit is performed over the link that has the lower capacity like 56 kb. The protocol will determine the bandwidth capacity for all the links along the path, and the overall higher bandwidth will be considered as the base route. Okay, so delay must be low and bandwidth must be high. Okay, bandwidth means the capacity of link is known as a bandwidth. Okay, so it is the measurement is in the term of bit per second. Okay, so bandwidth must be high and delay must be low. That is considered as a base path. Okay, next is load. The load refers to the degree to which the network resources such as a router or network link is busy. Okay, a load can be calculated in a variety of ways such as CPU utilization, packet process per seconds. If the traffic increase, then the load will be increased. The load value changes with respect to the change in the traffic. Okay, so it is depends on the traffic, how much packets we are sending from source to destination. Okay, so load must be low. Okay, reliability. Reliability is a matrix factor, may be composed of a fixed value. It depends on the network link and its value is measured dynamically. Some networks go down more often than others. Okay, after network failure, some network link repaired more easily than other network. Okay, so it may happen that network link will be failed. Okay, so some network link repair easily and some will not. Okay, any reliability factor can be considered for assignment of reliability rating, which are generally numeric value assigned by the system administrator. Okay, so after network failure, the link which is repair easily, okay, it is the best. Okay, so this is the concept of reliability. So these all are the routing metrics. Next is types of routing. Routing can be classified into three categories. That first is static routing, second is default routing, and third is dynamic routing. See here, types of routing: static routing, dynamic routing, and default routing. So first is static routing. Static routing is also known as a non-adaptive routing. It is a technique in which the administrator manually adds the routes in the routing tables. Okay, so router can send the packet for the destination along the route defined by the administrator. So static means administrator will provide the routes in the routing table. So all packets sent from source to destination use this path. Okay, so a router can send the packets for destination along the route defined by the administrator. In this technique, routing decisions are not made based on the condition or topology of the network. Here, path is, or we can say route is defined by the network administrator. Okay, so this is known as a static routing. Advantages and disadvantages of static routing. Advantages is no overhead. It has no overhead on the CPU uses of the router. Therefore, the cheaper router can be used to operate the static routing. Bandwidth is it has not bandwidth uses between the routers, and security, it provides the base security. So these three are the advantages: no overhead, bandwidth, and security. Okay, disadvantages is for a large network, it becomes a very difficult task to add each route manually in the routing table. As in static routing, route is manually added by the network administrator, and it is very difficult for the large network. It is based for small network, but it is very difficult for the large network. The system administrator should have a good knowledge of the topology, as he has to add each route manually. Okay, so network administrator must know about the network topology. So these are the disadvantages. Dynamic routing. It is also known as a adaptive routing. It is a technique in which the router adds a new route in the routing table for each packet in response to the changes in the condition or topology of the network. So here router is come in the picture. Okay, in this technique, router will add the routes. Okay, dynamic protocols are used to discover the new routes to reach the destinations. In dynamic routing, RIP and OSPF are the protocols used to discover the new routes that I will RIP and OSPF protocols I will explain in the next lecture. If any routes goes down, then the automatically adjustment will be made to reach the destination. Suppose router selects some route, okay, and it goes down, then automatically it will adjust to send the packet to a destination. Okay, so this is the dynamic routing. The dynamic protocols should have the following features. All the routers must have the same dynamic routing protocol in order to extend the routes. Okay, so all have to follow the same routing protocols. If the router discover any changes in the condition or topology, then router broadcasts this information to all other routers. Okay, so if there is some changes in the topology or any condition, then the router broadcasts this information to all other routers. Okay, so this is the dynamic routing. Advantages and disadvantages. It is easy to configure. It is more effective in selecting the base route in response to changes in the condition or topology. Okay, so as I have explained, we have a multiple routes, so it will select the base route for the for sending the packet to destination. So it is very easy to configure. Disadvantages of dynamic routing, that is, it is more expensive in terms of CPU and bandwidth uses. Okay, so it is expensive. It is less secure as compared to default and static routing. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of dynamic routing. Next is default routing. Default routing is a technique in which a router is configured to send all the packets to the same host device, and it doesn't matter whether it belongs to a particular network or not. Okay, a packet is transmitted to the device for which it is configured in default routing. Okay, default routing is used when network deal with a single exit point. Okay, it is also useful when the bulk of transmission network have to transmit the data to the same HP devices. Okay, when a specific route is mentioned in the routing table, the router will choose the specific route rather than the default route. Okay, the default route is chosen only when a specific route is not mentioned in the routing table. So router will always define the route in the routing table. Okay, when the default route is always chosen when the specific route is not mentioned in the routing table. So these are the three routing: static routing, okay, dynamic routing, and default routing. Thank you.